So we checking this out. The Anunnaki gods, the astronaut gods of Sumer, right? So what it seems like, the Anunnaki were space travelers, heaven travelers. Because back in their day, they didn't have all this light pollution, so they could see the universe. And if you can go up there, it's all star. If you can look up there without the light pollution, without all that we have right now, you would see the universe, which is stars, galaxies, and all that. So back in that time, you could see it. So you would call that the heavens because it's beyond us and it's magnificent. That's kind of what my dream is. I feel like I want to go to Hawaii, but I don't right now because of what's going on right now. The volcano exploded, and actually see the universe, the sky, the heavens for what they really are. Not this fogged up, what do you call it? Opaque sky that you can't see any of the stars from. We only see satellites. I believe everything that we see in the sky right now with dots is just satellites. We don't see the stars behind it. We don't see our universe for what it is. And the Anunnaki came here. That's what I believe. The Anunnaki came here and they merged with us.
Of the first civilizations is full of great events and mysteries that arouse the curiosity of many. Many wonder how
they came from the heavens. They came from off-world
so rapidly compared to other species that had already existed on our planet. Ancient peoples, through their religions, have tried to offer answers about the creation of the world and the odd creative capacity of humanity. Perhaps the answer to this dilemma can be found in the text written by what was the first organized civilization in history, the Sumerians. The Sumerian civilization emerged in Mesopotamia around 4500 BC. Over time, it was responsible for building large cities and creating the first system of writing, known as cuneiform writing, on clay tablets. During archaeological excavations in 1849 in Iraq, 14 clay tablets with Sumerian writings were found. The translation of the text revealed one of the most fantastic stories of all time, the story of the Anunnaki gods. According to the Sumerian manuscripts, there is a planet at the ends of the solar system called Nibiru. Every 3,600 years, it enters an orbit close to the planet Earth. Nibiru was the home planet of the Anunnaki, who were experiencing difficulties because the climate and atmosphere of the planet were changing rapidly, making it difficult to produce food and therefore to survive. It was necessary to use advanced methods of technology, alchemy, and magic to reverse this situation.
Magic.
To do so, a large amount of gold
really magic?
was needed, since this metal has purifying properties capable of resisting even cosmic radiation. However, gold was a rare resource in Nibiru, and without other alternatives, the Anunnaki used their advanced technology and sent ships into space in search of the precious
These are
golden
NASA
metal.
ships.
After a
Ancient
long and
times.
tiring search, they arrived on planet Earth about 445,000 years ago, where they were the first astronauts to cross space and colonize another planet.
That's what it seemed like, right?
The planet Earth.
And kind of what it seems like is that Nibiru is actually the planet of the closest star system closest to us, which is like Ceres, the constellation Ceres, which is like a triple star system. But what makes it special is that we're probably able to interact with them over time because we're probably in a binary tri-system, and over a certain amount of time we come close enough where we can interact, or they are close enough to interact with us because great distances of space. Yeah.
Earth was inhabited only by wild animals such as mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, and some apes. The Anunnaki settled in Mesopotamia and built a wonderful city called Eridu. In this city, there was a splendorous garden full of fruit trees and animals. The garden created by the Anunnaki was named Eden, and the first favorite place of the astronaut gods. Shortly after, gold extraction began in underground mines, To do the heavy tasks,
EGG.
they brought with them slaves from another alien race, the Igigi. After years of forced labor
crazy, right? Look at that one. That one looks different than the rest. Has a bigger eye. Nose is different. Kind of looks like an elf. Is that the ear? They kind of look like elves. I'm trying to create a big story in my head right now. My biggest dream in life is to create one of the best stories, one of the best universes that's kind of like bigger than Star Wars or something. And they got a tail and hoof feet. What if those are just aliens? We call them fallen angels or angels, but they're just aliens. This is crazy.
The Igigi. After years of forced labor and humiliation, the Igigi
they are fallen because they came from the heavens,
giving rise to the first war on Earth. The Igigi were defeated and decimated. The Anunnaki needed new workers.
Big as hell.
The solution was to create a new race of intelligent beings, able to work, but more harmless than the Igigi. The Anunnaki combined their genes with the ancestors of human beings, creating a hybrid and submissive race at their command. This genetic fusion did not go very well at first. Strange beings came to life, like the Nephilim giants, which...
he's saying he's weird. It's kind of throwing me off. But I kind of get it. They're taking resources from Earth because their planet doesn't have the same resources, or they use all the resources up. And they were trying to export their resources to their planet. So they're kind of good. They kind of wanted Earth to survive on its own, but they wanted the resources, so they created a city, a garden, which separated them from the wildlife of Earth, so they can get the resources and bounce. That's kind of what they did, and they bounced. But some of the gods wanted to stay behind, so their leader from Eridu, right? I think that's what right? Eridu wiped the planet out with the Great Flood so that Earth could still live on its own, but get rid of all the angels that wanted to rebel. Bro!
Although extraordinarily strong, were devoid of intelligence and self-control. The first man to emerge from this successful genetic combination was named Adamu. Compared to human beings, the Anunnaki were incredibly tall and strong, and their weapons would be more than enough to control another possible rebellion. Over time, humans developed the ability to speak and learn from the Anunnaki, to take care of plantations and build houses made of clay and stone.
This is deeper and deeper the more I watch, bro.
They even allowed them to live in their city and attend the sacred garden, but gave explicit orders not to reproduce too much. Against the will of the gods, human beings began to procreate quickly, which caused overpopulation in the city. Many people were expelled from Eden and Eridu, and condemned to live in exile in wildlands.
Like, that's the one thing about humans that's not, we don't seem natural. We're from this planet, but we don't seem natural. We took over the planet quickly, right? We stretched from our native country or land, which is Africa, spread out, kept spreading, wiping out species after species, transforming the planet. But throughout history, we see that the Earth is like 4.8 billion years old, and we've done all this in the last thousands of years. Do y'all know the difference between 1,000 and a billion? Right? A billion is 1,000 thousands. 3 times. Cubed. Put 1,000, put the 3 over it, which is cubed. Or you can put 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. It's a billion. The Earth has been around 4 of those. And we've done it in a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what the Earth's been around for. And even we did most of it in less than like 100 years, matter of fact.
After a few millennia, the planet Nibiru approached the Earth again, Nibiru's gravitational field was so
And that's a
strong
fraction of a
that it
thousand.
adversely affected the Earth's natural conditions. There was an increase in the temperature of the planet, and the glaciers melted, rapidly raising the level of the oceans and causing constant rain. A great flood ravaged the Earth, and the city of Iridu was doomed to submerge. To save their creation, the Anunnaki created large boats
Nibiru.
that floated
That's
for
what's
days
Nibiru,
to
my
normal
bad.
water level. In this part, it is not clear whether the boats floated on the water or whether the boats were ships hovering in the sky. After their city was destroyed, the Anunnaki decided to return to Nibiru, but before they left, they gave human beings knowledge of
That guy look like
mathematics, music, and writing. They also taught them how to establish a monarchy system, where some leaders kept their bloodline inherited for the Anunnaki pure, with the right to command others. They also ordered the construction of temples known as ziggurats, aligned with the constellations.
Why?
These would one day guide the Anunnaki back to Earth. The Sumerian texts do not determine how many Anunnaki there are, but they quote some as the main ones. The most powerful deity in Sumerian mythology was An, or Anu, according to Akkadian calligraphy.
Kind of like Zeus, kind of like
Anu
Odin.
was the personification of heaven and possessed infinite wisdom. He was the oldest and most venerable of the gods, with sanctuaries in almost all Sumerian cities. The goddess Ki represented the earth and Anu's wife. The union between Anu and Ki gave birth to Anunnaki, a word that can be translated as children of heaven and earth. The first Anunnaki was Enlil, lord of the air.
Hold up. So, what's he saying? Anu is alien, and Ki is human, or hominid, and the Anunnaki are human god hybrids, or are they saying it because they are the first gods born on Earth?
Winds, storms, and responsible for keeping.
It's like
heaven
calling
and
like
earth
African
at a safe
Americans
distance.
Anunnaki.
Enki was the mighty god of the oceans and rivers, the patron of the.
That makes sense. The Anunnakis aren't human. They're gods, right? Aliens. They're gods. They're aliens from a different world. But when they came here, they were bred here and were born here. So they're like Nibiru earthlings. Anunnaki.
The city of Iridu. Later, his cult reached other peoples such as the Canaanites, Hittites, and Horites. The moon also had a ruler, Nana, worshipped as a god of wisdom and curiosity, responsible for teaching scientific
Why they all
and
got long
astronomical
beards?
concepts to human beings. The god Utu was the personification of the sun and defender of justice, truth, and morality. Utu traveled through the heavens in his sacred carriage, emitting a brilliance capable of illuminating the world. The goddess Inanna was Utu's twin sister and goddess of fertility, war, and political power, also called the Heavenly Queen. She was one of the most cultured goddesses of Mesopotamia,
Ishtar.
adopted by Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians under the name of Ishtar. The cult of the Anunnaki was shared by many Mesopotamian peoples, adding new stories and divinities with the advancement of time, but always maintaining a very detailed essence. The history of the Anunnaki...
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. If you're looking at it from this way, like if civilization is wiped out and you only had these images, okay, you got the rulers, the Anunnaki, right? But these wings, if you don't know, they could look like wings. They're coming off of the Anunnaki. They could be stadiums, which is like to worship the gods, or they could be like star glares, which means they come from the heavens. So one of them, they have wings. The other one, they're being worshipped. And the third one could mean they're coming from the heavens. If civilization was wiped out and had to relearn it, those are three options, I think.
but always maintaining a very detailed
And that's armor,
essence.
obviously.
The history of the Anunnaki, written by the Sumerians, is full of scientific and astronomical references, very advanced for the time in which they were written. The knowledge is still one of the greatest
Big
mysteries
wings.
of humanity.
Is there anything on Earth that has wings and arms? I think wings and arms are one of the same, right? In most creatures on Earth. So, if they evolve wings and arms, you can really look at them as you really can look at them as like higher beings of off this world, right? But yeah, man. If y'all enjoyed the video, leave me a suggestion on what y'all want to see next, or what should I watch, right? But yeah, Mawa, oh my God.